everyone. Today my topic is on bacteriophage. Myself, Dr. Ullas Babar, is an assistant professor from microbiology department. So, objectives of this lecture is the historical aspect of the bacteriophage. What is the bacteriophage? What is the morphology, life cycle, phage genetics, phage assay, phage typing, and significance of bacteriophage and bacteriation we will discuss. Lecture chamber. So, historical contents is a century ago, Hankin in 1896 reported that the waters of the Ganga and Jamuna rivers in India had marked antibacterial action against Vibrio cholera rustic epidemic, which could pass through a very fine porcelain filter. This activity was destroyed by boiling. Second is Edward Ford in 1915 and Felix D. Harrell in 1917 independently reported isolating filterable entity capable of destroying bacterial culture and of producing small cleared area on bacterial lawns. It was a Canadian working at the Pasteur Institute in Paris who gave them the name bacteriophages using the suffix phage in 1922. Now, introduction is that bacteriophage means to eat bacteria and are called so because virulent bacteriophage can cause the complete lysis of a susceptible bacterial culture. And they are commonly referred as a phage they are obligate intracellular parasite that multiply inside bacteria by making use of some or all of the host biosynthetic machinery. They occur widely in our nature and can readily be isolated from the feces and sewages. There are at least 12 distinct groups of bacteriophages which are very diverse structurally and genetically. They composed either DNA or RNA but never both in a nucleic acid form. The nucleic acid of the phages often contain unusual or modified bases which protect phage nucleic acid from nuclease that break down host nucleic acid during phage infections. Simple phages may have only 3 to 5 genes while complex phages may have over 100 genes in a bacteriophage. Now morphology is most phages range in size from 24 to 200 nanometer in a length and T4 is among the largest phage. It is approximately 200 nanometer in long and 80 to 100 nanometer in a wide. They are a tadpole in shape with a hexagonal head and a cylindrical tail are there, and all phages contain a head structure which can vary in size and shape, and head encloses nucleic acid and act as the protective covering of the nucleic acids. And the tail, which are the hollow tube through which the nucleic acid passes through infections, and T4 tail is surrounded by a contractile sheath which contract during the infection of the bacterium. At the end of the tail, phages like T4 have a base plate and one or more tail fibers attached to it, and the base plate and tail fiber are involved in the binding of the phage to the bacterial cell. So there is the one of the receptors will be there, so they will binding on a bacterial cell. So here, which are the picture, these are the head containing DNA or RNA having internal proteins, and these are the neck, also known as a collar, and these are the tail sheath which are the hollow tube like structures are there, and these are the T4 tail fibers, right, and these are the pins. These are calling a plate, tail plate. Okay. So these are the hexagonal structure of the head. And this over here plate, this is also hexagonal in a shape. Now life cycle of the bacteriophage, they having a two types. One is the virulent and second is the lysogenic cycle. Virulent also known as a lytic cycle, and lysogenic is known as temperate cycles. So in a lytic cycle, which are intracellular multiplication of the phage, culminates in the lysis of the host bacterium and the release of the frozen environment. And second is the lysogenic cycle. In this, the phage DNA become integrated with the bacterial genome, replicating synchronously with it, causing no harm to the host cell. So here there is a various step into the lytic cycles in an infectious process, which are first is the attachment of the virions to cell, then entry of viral nucleic acid into host cell, early viral protein synthesis required for genome replications, then genome replication. Fifth is a late protein synthesis is a capsid protein. Then 6 is the assembly of the progeny virion, and 7 is the release of the infectious progeny virion. So one by one we will discuss. So over here one is the picture are there. These are the landing on the cell, bacterial cell, right? These are the tail. Okay. So now after that there is the receptor. They will be attached on the receptor, and they attach over here. After that there is a contraction of the tail, right? And then this viral genome, they will be penetrate and unplugging are there, right? You can see here my cursor. And then after that finally they will be injected inside of the cell wall. So one by one we discuss. First step will be into the lytic cycle is adsorption. So the first step in the infection process is the adsorption of the phage to the bacterial cell, which are the mediated by the tail fiber or by some analogous structure on the phage that lack tail fibers. They attach to specific receptor on the bacterial cells such as protein on the outer surface of the bacterium, okay, lipopolysaccharides, pili and lipoproteins may be there. They can be attached anywhere. So this process is a very rapid in the time, and one or more of the component of the base plate mediate irreversible binding of phage to the bacterium. So these are the irreversible procedures. There are portions are necessary for the adsorption, and bacterial protoplast which are devoid of cell wall component cannot absorb phages and not infected. So if there is any cell wall deficient, they will be not infected. So infection of a bacterium by the naked phage nucleic acid is known as a transfection. Second phase will be the penetration. So the irreversible binding of the phage to the bacterium result in the contraction of the sheath, and the hollow tail fiber is pushed through the bacterium envelope like a spring, right? So some phages have an enzyme that digests various components of the bacterial envelope, and nucleic acid from the head passes through the hollow tail and enter the bacterial cell, and the remainder of the phage remain on the outer side of the bacterium is like a ghost. When the very large number of phages adsorb to a single bacterium cell, they multiply, holes are produced on the cell wall and leakage of the cell content, and there may be the bacterial lysis occurs without viral multiplication. They are known as a lysis from without. Third phase will be the synthesis. So immediately after penetration of the phage nucleic acid from the cell wall, synthesis of the phage component is initiated. So what happened first? Enzyme is necessary for the building of the complex molecule peculiar to the phage are synthesized, is known as early proteins. After that, synthesis of the protein subunit of the phage head and tail is known as late proteins, and during this period bacterial protein, DNA and RNA synthesis ceases. The bacterial functional stops. Fourth will be the multiplications, assembly and maturations. So over here phage DNA, head protein and tail protein are synthesized separately in a bacterial cell, and then DNA is condensed in a polyhedron, packages into the head, tail is added, and then assembly. So they will be compiled over here. So it is assembly, and they become mature phase particles. Then after they become a mature, there will be the release time. So after the maturation, replication of the phage bacterial cell wall is weakened, and phage enzyme act on a weakened cell wall. They burst or lysis of the cell wall and release of total phases. And some terminology are there: eclipse phase, which are the interval between entry of the phage nucleic acid into the bacterial cell and the appearance of the first infectious phage particles. Okay, so this is known as a eclipse phase. They represent time required for the synthesis of the phage component and their assembly into the mature phase. Another is a latent period, which are the interval between the infection of a bacterial cell and the first release of the infectious phage particles. After latent period, number of phage particles released will increases, and this period during which the number of infectious phage release rise is known as a rise period, and average yield of progeny phase per infected bacterial cells, they are known as burst size. So over here latent period, rise period and burst size, the various terminology you should remember it. So here an estimated release of the infected phage particle per bacterium can be made from one step growth curve, which are these over here. These are in a minutes, 10, 20, 30, 40, right? So over here first is the latent period, we also know, right? Then rise period, and then is the third is the burst size. Okay, so these are the phage particles in numbers, and over here is the timing. So over here there is the recap. So first step was adsorption. Okay, so these are the tail will be attached on the receptor or lipopolysaccharide, protein, villi or anywhere, right? Then after that there is a contractions, and these DNA or RNA particles will be enter. So introduction of the phage DNA into the host bacterium. Next is a multiplication of phage DNA and production of the phage capsid, right? There is a formation of the capsid and multiplication of the nucleic acids. Next will be the packaging, right? Assembly. So packaging of the phage DNA into the capsid and accidentally package of host DNA into the capsid. So you can see here, right? Next will be the lysis of cell with release of mature phases, may with on DNA and few with the host chromosomal DNA fragments, and they after rupture, infection of the another bacteria by a phage containing bacterial chromosomal DNA, and again there is a transduced chromosomal fragment exchanges gene with host chromosomes by recombination, thus conferring new properties. So again this cycle will be undergoing generalized transduction. So these are the recap, and this is very important while you are learning life cycle of the bacteriophage. Then second will be the lysogenic cycle. So lysogenic cycle or temperate phase are those that can either multiply via the lytic cycle or enter a dormant state in the cell. In most cases, the phage DNA actually integrate into the host chromosome and is a replicate along with the host chromosome and pass on to the daughter cells. So this integrated state of phage DNA is termed as a prophase, and this process is known as a lysogeny, and the bacteria harboring prophage are called a lysogenic bacteria. So since the prophage contains gene, it can transfer new property to the bacterium. When a cell becomes lysogenized, occasionally extra genes carried by the phage get expressed in the cell. These genes can change the properties of the bacterial cell, and this process is known as lysogenic conversion or phase conversion. During multiplication of the lysogenic bacteria, the prophage may exist from the occasional cell, and the existential prophage initiate lytic replication and the daughter phage particle are released, and they infect other bacterial cell and render them lysogenic. So again they will be the spontaneous induction of prophage, known as spontaneous induction of prophage. Then can be induced by physical and chemical agents like UV rays, H2O, hydrogen peroxide and nitrogen monoxides can be used for induction. Thus lysogenic cycle get converted into the lytic cycles. Now significance of the lysogenic conversion include they have been shown to carry gene that can modify the Salmonella O antigen, and this toxin production by the Corynebacterium diphtheria mediated by a gene carried by a beta phage, only those strains that have been converted by a lysogeny and are pathogenic. In a Clostridium botulinum, a causative agent of the food poisoning makes several different toxins, two of which are actually encoded by a prophage genomes. And lysogenized bacteria are resistant to superinfection by same or related phages. This is known as superinfection immunity. So this is very important. Okay, so here examples of the virulence factor carried by the phage. So in the bacterium Vibrio cholera, phage is a CTX phage. Gene product will be the cholera toxins and phenotype is a cholera. Then Escherichia coli, E. coli is a lambda phage, the Zika-like toxins and phenotype is a hemorrhagic diarrhea. Then Clostridium botulinum is a Clostridial phage, right? And gene product is a botulinum toxins causing food poisoning is a phenotype phase. Corynebacterium diphtheria is a Corynephrase beta, right? And gene product is a diphtheria toxins and phenotype is looking at diphtheria. Streptococcus pyogenes is a phage is a T12 and gene product is a azothogenic toxins and causing a scarlet fever is a phenotypic structure. So these are the certain lysogenic conversions. So another is a phage genetics. Over here the transfer of genetic elements from one bacterium to another by a bacteriophage is known as transduction. Transduction can be generalized or specialized. The generalized transduction is seen in a lytic cycle where any segments of the bacterial DNA are transferred. So it is a generalized transduction. And generalized transduction is usually seen in a temperate phages that undergo lytic cycle. And a restricted transduction is only bacterial genes contagiously to prophage are transmitted. Then phage assay. So when a phages is applied on the lawn culture of the susceptible bacterium, area of clearing occur after incubation. So zone of lysis are called a plaque, and size, shape and nature of the plaque are characteristic of the different phages. So plaque assay is useful for the titrating the number of viable phages in a preparation and purification of the phages. So application in a intra-species typing identification of the bacteria is in a Staphylococcus aureus, Vibrio cholera, Salmonella typhi we are using. So significance of bacteriophages are they are using model to study of virus host interaction at the cellular and molecular level. Second is the role in a transmission of the genetic material between the bacteria by the process of transduction. Lysogenic conversion is responsible for the acquisition of the new characteristics. Random insertion into bacterial chromosomes can induce the insertional mutations, and epidemiological typing of bacteria is a phage typing. These are the significance of the bacteriophages. Another is the lambda phage is a model system for the study of latent infection of the mammalian cell by the retroviruses. Phages are used extensively in a genetic engineering where they serve as a cloning vectors, and libraries of genes and monoclonal antibodies are maintained in a phages, and they are responsible for natural removal of the bacteria from water bodies. Now application of the phages. So where we apply from the model study of the molecular biology, cloning and expression, phage display system, phage typing. Here you can see plaques, right? Phage therapy is a natural self-replicating and self-limiting antibiotics. Now bacteriocins. What is the bacteriocins? Which are the group of highly specific antibiotic like substance produced by certain strain of the bacteria which are active against other strain of the same or different species. They give one specific name based on the bacterial species of the origin. Colicins from E. coli, pyosins from the Pseudomonas pyoscinea, megacins from the B. megatherium, and diphtheriocins from the Corynebacterium diphtheria. So synthesis is determine the presence of colistin factors as a call factor in a bacteria, and call factor are episomes and can be transmitted from cell to cell by conjugation or transduction, and a cell produce a bacteriocin is immune to it but may be sensitive to the other bacteriocins, and bacteriocins kill susceptible cell without lysing them. And bacteriocins typing is available to detect the sensitivity of the taste strain to the lytic acid of the phages. And plate diffusion technique is useful method applied for the bacteriocin typing. So it's over. Thank you.